Hello, and welcome to Every Thought Captive. I'll be reading today from a book entitled The Trinity, an Introduction by Scott R. Swain. This is part of the Short Studies in Systematic Theology, which is a superb series, and Swain's entry carries its weight. Published by Crossway. I'll give you a look at the book here. Very helpful, short work. I'll be reading from a section on the basic grammar of Trinitarian language. The first thing to observe in Matthew's baptismal formula is that the name into which we are baptized is singular, not plural. The faith into which we are baptized is faith in the one God. For us there is one God, one Lord, 1 Corinthians chapter 8, verse 6, one Spirit, Ephesians 4, verse 4. Note, then, a first pattern. The Bible's Trinitarian discourse consistently affirms the existence of the one God. The Bible acknowledges the existence of many religions that worship many gods, and it constantly warns us of the snare that these gods pose to God's people. However, the Bible also insists that these gods are gods in name only, 1 Corinthians chapter 8, verse 5. In truth, they are no gods, the work of men's hands. Isaiah chapter 37, verse 19, Jeremiah chapter 2, verses 11 and 28. The Lord alone is the God. Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 35. He alone is a great God and a great king above all gods. Psalm chapter 95, verse 3. He alone is the author and end of all things. Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. Isaiah chapter 41, verse 4. Chapter 44, verse 6 and 24. John chapter 1, verses 1 through 3. Romans chapter 11, verses 33 through 36. 1 Corinthians chapter 8, verse 6, Colossians chapter 1, verses 15 through 20, the Alpha and the Omega, the first and the last, the beginning and the end, Revelation 22, verse 13. What Moses teaches, Jesus confirms. The Lord is one, and there is no other beside him, Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 35 and 39, chapter 6, verse 4, Mark chapter 12, verses 29 and 32. In one way, Paul, the apostle to the Gentiles, signals God's uniqueness over against the gods is by appealing to the distinction, common in antiquity, between those that are called gods for honorific reasons, example given Caesar, and those that are gods by nature, the latter possessing perfections such as immortality, which are exclusive to the divine nature. Romans chapter 1, verse 23, 1 Corinthians chapter 8, verse 5, Galatians chapter 4, verses 8 through 9. Unlike much of antiquity, however, Paul insists that there is only one God who fits the bill in this regard. All other gods are those that by nature are not gods. Galatians chapter 4, verse 8. The significance is clear. The one God of Christian confession is not a member of a larger class of gods. He alone is God because he alone is God by nature. The blessed and only sovereign, the King of kings and Lord of lords, who alone has immortality, who dwells in unapproachable light. 1 Timothy chapter 6, verses 15 through 16. The Bible's primary way of signaling God's uniqueness is by means of God's proper name, Yahweh, often referred to as the Tetragrammaton, because it is composed of 4 Hebrew letters. As we have seen, the Bible frequently uses the title God to refer both to the one God and to those that are not actually gods. Furthermore, as I will discuss more fully in later chapters, the Bible uses an almost endless variety of creaturely terms to refer to the one God. God is called Father, King, Maker, Refuge, and so forth. However, the Bible reserves the proper name Yahweh for God alone. It is the one God's holy name. Psalm chapter 145, verse 21. The glory he will not share with another. Isaiah chapter 48, verse 11. Thank you for spending time with me today. We'll see you again soon, God willing. May the Lord bless you richly in Christ.